What's up, everybody? And there ain't nobody here yet. What's up, people watching the recording? uh, I'll tweet it again. Get in here, we're live. Title of the podcast is Working Out or there we go. There's some people in here. Hello. So did you had a game tonight?
Yeah, we had our first playoff game.
Nice. Did they won?
Yeah, we won single elimination. So we got a game tomorrow, and then if we win that, we got the championship next Saturday.
Damn.
Oh, look, I can't fucking figure out what time. Oh, there we go.
Nice. Even better when they don't tell you the time. How are we supposed to show up, coach?
Yeah, I don't know what time the game is tomorrow because we get reseeded. So I'm like, well, I need to know. He's like, it's either 12 or 1. I'm like, okay, it's 9 o'clock on Friday. I'd like to let the parents know.
We don't know. Don't be coming in and leaving. Don't be coming in and leaving. You got to stay in here once you're in here, damn it. Bastards. Oh, I chased somebody away.
Shocker.
Oh, no, they're back. Hey, please don't go. Please don't go. Oh, you left. You son of a bitch. Where's Danny? I know it. F you, Danny.
Crap.
I started my video today, and I was like, here, let me see if I have it on here. This should be quite comical. Hold on, let me find it. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. Where's it at? It's funny. I did the audio mix where I took the video and the audio and I set it up together, and I didn't like the way it sounded. So I was like, screw it. I said I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Which I'm finding lately that my audio and my video lose sync with each other. And I have to go in and fix it. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's your brain and your mouth are out of sync, and you're not seeing it until then. You could be having mini strokes.
The past months.
Let's just say you're dying. Let's just get.
I'm dying. I'm dead. Fuck. Shit.
How did you find out? Well, I was editing a video and I thought my voice was out of sync, but it wasn't. It was really happening in real time. I just never noticed.
Yeah, my buddy Larry told me they all sounded fine.
If only I would have found out earlier, I wouldn't have been in this situation.
Fucker. Oh, you know what? I think that was on a different version that I did that on, but I go on and I was like, hey, oh yeah, it is. It is. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Did I delete that? Hold on. Is this it right here? No, that's not it. I guess I didn't, but I was like, look, everybody, everything's equal here. It's all looking good. Said the table's all level, all straight in the shot. My head, not a whole lot of space between my head and the top of the frame.
Oh,
you can't have too much space between the head and the top of the frame.
Oh, some people can.
Some people can. It don't matter.
Just in case somebody wants to walk into frame and put their head on top of their head.
Or someone normal height wants to walk in.
Oh. Hey now.
I now own an Apple Watch. What am I doing? Dave, you know what? It all started with the iPhone.
Just once you get into that ecosystem.
Yeah, man. You know, Dave, you were in Apple before. I don't know what you were why you left. I mean, Apple's got it down. Look, I'm feeling a nice
Showing the guns.
nice tightness right there. Yeah, I got some guns going on there.
Oh snap! That's I was doing the same thing today. I'm like telling my wife, I'm like, feel my chest,
Feel my
feel my
chest.
arms. Feel my arms.
I'm starting to. You know what the only thing is when we were in high school, we were like, yo, I'm getting a tree back here. See, there it is. You see it? See it? The tree starting to form.
I was never in high school, so I don't know anything about that.
Oh, sorry. I was barely in high school. You know what, Dave? I was telling Larry before we came on the air. I picked up the new 4K Apple TV. Well, not new. It's new to me. I picked it up, and I had one before, but I never used it. And my dad needed like Netflix and all that sort of stuff, so I gave it to him. And I got another one today, and I didn't realize just how easy it is to set it up. And I signed up for Apple TV or YouTube TV last week, and I've been using that and couldn't be happier. So I'm about ready to cut the cable and start really limiting what I get from Verizon. And I'm gonna call them and be like, all right, look, how much will it cost to kill everything except internet? And then I'll work back from there. And then I'll call Comcast and say, how much just for internet?
Yeah.
I'd be like, help me out here. So, and I think I'm going to get rid of this gigabit internet. I'm not feeling it.
Not worth it.
No, I don't think it's, I don't, the internet, I mean, 150 was like 170, 180.
Yeah.
Like constantly. It was never below 150. And this is like, yes, it's in the sometimes it's like 400 or 500 down and like 800 up. And that's it. Like, but it's like so inconsistent. There's times I get like,
that's it.
I know, you know what I mean, but like it's like up to 900.
First world problems. Dave's over there on Mobility Today with his dial up.
Dial up.
It's like trying to get online. Then his wife picked up to order a pizza and he got kicked off.
Oh, that ain't right. As a matter of fact, let me plug my Ethernet back in. I gotta run this professionally. I can't keep doing this shit.
Why would you start being professional now for anything?
I don't know. I want it to look pretty. Tell you what, I'm just gonna sell it all. Sell it
all.
Start getting in the cars. Get a big old sound system for my truck. 300 baud model modem. Old school. That was before me.
My time,
Dave. Talking yourself out, Dave. See what this is. What speed this thing's pulling right now. Let me see here. I got the let me see if I can. Where's it at? Got the Ubiquiti Amplify HD right there. Did the unboxing today. I'm gonna set that up tomorrow and see how that fares against no. So I had 496 down and 890, 919 up. I mean, yeah, it's awesome, but like I said, it's just not consistent. It's just like up to 800 down.
Right.
Okay, yeah, fine. 496 down is freaking killer, but it's like they don't guarantee anything. Like there's days I've gotten 200 down, and I want it to look pretty. Makes me think of a white man can't jump. You rather look good than lose and look bad and win? Yes. Why do you think I spent 3 days working on the mic arm here to professionally put it into the desk and saw out my drawer just to fit the
Jeremy Edwards makes a joke, but I literally have my 8-year-olds that I coach. I talk about that because they're all putting their hand up, like walking away from a shot. I'm like, you missed. Put your hand down.
The ball didn't even reach the net.
Or they're like, we're in a layup line and they put up the layup and brick it, and then they're running backwards. I'm like, turn around and run to the back of the line. Come on now.
You missed.
I'm like, yeah, I tell them all the time, like, you missed. Put your hand down.
Oh, dang.
I said, and if you only make 1 out of 5, put your hand down.
Listen, Shaq.
Yeah, I'm like, come on now.
You got to practice your your free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious, kids. But I want to be like who's
everybody wants to be Steph Curry. They keep walking out farther to the 3-point line to jack up threes.
You should be like, you're trying to be like Steph Curry or coming off like D Rose. Oh
yeah, you're barely in the league.
Oh, my knee. Oh, it hurts. Knee. Oh, coach, I'm out, coach.
Ouch, coach.
Can't play. My contract. It's in my contract. I get paid. So I hit up Larry on Hangouts today. I told him a long diatribe. I had an electrician come over and help me with the GFI outside that was giving me problems in the garage. So we were talking and, you know, shooting the shit, and he was asking me, hey, what do you do? You know, basically, why are you home in the middle of the day? Thanks, Dave. And I was like, you know, I told my whole just a little bit about I say I worked at M&T, had a little mistake, an accident, you know, short on your till, you're gone. And he's like, oh, what are you doing now? I was like, oh, I work marketing a little bit for this company. I said, I got tired of chasing my paycheck every 2 weeks. I said, so I quit. So now I'm home just kind of hanging out, doing house stuff, breaking the GFCI out in my garage. So he's like, oh, I'm always looking for help. He's like, you know, it's tough doing it by myself, and I'd really like to have someone, you know, to help me basically do the home improvement stuff, paint, rip carpet out. You know, it looks like you got a little bit of, you know, stuff on electrical. I was like, yeah. So he's like, cool. I'll call you next week. I was like, great. So
by this time next week, Mike will be dead from, he'll grab like an electrical line and just.
No, I'm not that stupid. No, we went through and he was chasing the line. He was like, well, he's like, he unhooks going to the next line and pushes the plug in, and we're just, you know, talking for a little bit. And I said, well, it would have tripped by now. And he's like, yeah, you guys are going that bad? I said, yeah, it's going that bad. He's like, all right. So he hooks up the next line and hooks the one after it. It's fine. Hooks up, you know, and he's like, all right. So he goes, this line at the end here goes somewhere else. And he goes, do you know where it goes? And I was like, I have no freaking clue where it goes. And he's like, well, this, you got to find out where this goes. He goes, because this where this is going could be a problem. So, and he said, most likely it's an outlet. He's like, because this is, you know, the type of electrical wire it is. It isn't for running switches, because, you know, usually they have the heavier duty gauge wire for switches. So I was like, all right. So I start going around testing everything, and I'm like, I cannot find this. And then finally I was like, wait a minute. I was like, there's that goddamn light post out front in the front yard. So I went out, and a light bulb had blown out on it, and I took it out, and I didn't get a chance to replace it. And I went out and I tested that, and sure enough, that's where the line ran to. It's like, son of a bitch. I was like, this got water in it. I said, that's why it trips when there's moisture in it. I said, that's the problem. That's it. So I put a light bulb in it, stuck my and it's only driven by it's got a sensor on it, so when it gets dark, it turns on.
Yeah.
So I just put my finger over it after I plugged the wire back in, turned on. I said, Carrie, come here. I said, put your thumb on this. She put her thumb on it. I walked over, pulled the wire off. Lights went out, put the wire on, lights went back on. I was like, that's it. Some bitch. It's like, they've got it all hooked up wrong. He's like, I called him. I was like, this is what it was. And he's like, well, that's not safe. I was like, oh, it's been like that for how many years now? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's it's a low voltage. He's like, it should be fine. If you want to
Hmm.
hook it up, hook it back up. He's like, but if you don't, just put a knob on it and freaking tuck it back in the wall. I was like, I was like, Carrie, you want a lawn ornament that doesn't work, or do you want the lights to work? She's like, is I got to start a fire? I was like, nah, you got a GFCI that'll trip if something happens.
Yeah.
So I was like, hook it back up. So
Hmm.
I was like, sweet. I was like, I learned something, and I was showing him the hardwood floor that I did. He's like, man, this looks great. And I said, yeah. I said, I need to finish the threshold. I said, I got kind of stuck. I said I needed to get a table saw. He's like, yeah, I got the same table saw. That's a goddamn good table saw. I was like, yeah, in fact, I just got it, $100. I was like, I'm gonna do the threshold. He's like, well, how are you gonna do it? I tell him how I'm gonna do it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, that's a great idea. He's like, well, listen, I got this tool and this tool. If you need help with that, I'll bring it over. I was like, all right.
Mike found a friend.
I made a friend.
Yay, Mike got a friend.
A real friend, not an internet friend.
Oh, jeez. I wouldn't know what to do.
No, me neither. I was like, some bitch. I was like, and he's gonna pay me to hang out with him.
So Mike's becoming a prostitute. That's cool.
Exactly. He's like, I need to know your skill set before I know how much I'm gonna pay you. And I'm like, fuck, it's gonna be
Mike just dropped down.
like $5 an hour. Well, when he was like talking about ripping out carpet and painting, and I was like, shit, I can do all that stuff with my eyes closed. I was like, a moron can paint. I let new podcast, Mike's Electrical Talk. No. As a matter of fact, let's get started the podcast. And since Larry's been doing this a lot longer than I have, I'm going to let him just run the whole show. So, Larry, you got to keep track of time. And I'm just kidding. Do you want to open it or do you want me?
You can.
All right. Larry's a ball of energy. Mike took one for the team. Yeah, right. All right, here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the OG Podcast, episode 16, working out, or I don't know, whatever else you want to call it. Adam Sandler joke, inside joke, probably only people get it. So, anyway.
I don't even get it.
Bite me. Well, that's my co-host, Larry Dickerson. Larry, welcome. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Start over. Hold on.
Fridays are usually rough for me, but I have made it.
Shut up. I got to redo that. Hold on. I stopped it. You dick. All right. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the OG Podcast, episode 16, working out or having sex. It's an old Sandler bit. Jesus. You don't get it. Nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it.
Doug gets it. I'll call Doug up. Doug understands it. But anyway, also welcome my wonderful co-host, Larry Dickerson. How goes it?
It goes good.
Good? Larry's
a good day.
Larry's team's going to the ship. Going to the ship.
First playoff win. First playoff game, and we won. So that was good. And then tomorrow we play again. And if we win that one, championship next week.
What was the score?
20. I think we had 21 or 23 to 8 or 10.
Like a Sixers game.
We beat this team earlier in the season 5-4. So it was an improvement.
Nice. Wow. Well, I talked a little bit about what I got going on this week, but not a whole lot. Anyway, but to start the show, Larry and I, Larry started way before I did, but we had a change in plans again. Fridays are tough. And so we decided we wanted to cover working out, eating healthy, and all that good stuff. And I figured it was a good idea. Larry and I have been going to Larry's going to the gym. I'm doing a workout program at home before I jump over the gym. But when did you start working out?
Mid to end of January.
Nice.
I was just like, you know what? I wanted to before that, but then you get that first of the year and you don't really want to join a gym then because it's probably going to be packed.
Yeah.
So I waited a couple weeks and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. went and signed up for the membership, and then went the very next morning. And then, like I said, I decided to go. It's difficult for me because of the job and the kids and all that stuff. So the only time I had was two slots. Either I could go at lunch and then take a shower there and then go back to work,
Mhm.
or get up super early. So I went with super early to see how it would work, and it's been working. I've been going pretty consistent, anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week usually, and then sometimes it's been 7 days a week if I feel like getting saucy. But I get up at my alarm set for 4 o'clock Monday through Friday, and then I sleep in an hour on Saturday and get up at 5. But then I go to the gym, and then it's usually pretty dead, so I like it. There's a couple people in there, and then people start coming in around 5 because they have like a spin class in the back.
Mhm.
But no, I'm digging it. I just started this week changing up my routine a little bit to get a little bit just to change it up a little bit. I've been watching a lot of buff dudes, which just happens to be. I know John worked with them before, but that really wasn't. I was just searching out different things and came across them, and I ordered a. They got a book like with workouts and stuff in it. I ordered that, but just to change up my routine. I have that app that I used that I'm still using, and it's
Mhm.
got 4 day workout, and it's pretty much like full body, but not really full body. But you don't isolate as much. So now I'm gonna start isolating pretty soon. But yeah, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Just not getting the body results that I want yet. I mean, I'm definitely getting stronger. All my weight has went up
Mhm.
that I'm lifting and pushing, but um, I'm looking to cut down. So that's when I started some dietary things this past week.
Right. What did you before? You meant before? Like years ago, or
What's that?
did you ever work out like this before?
Yeah, not this intense, but I did. Gosh, it's probably been about 15 years, maybe. But all I did was work out in my basement, just did dumbbells. But I wasn't as heavy as I was now, or was when I started this time.
Mhm.
But I got down to 200. That was
Okay.
like my
Yeah.
plateau. Um, so that's I'm not shooting for 200 now, because now I'm looking for more musculature. Another inside joke. Um,
Must.
musculature. But I'm shooting
Must.
for like 220, 225. I think would be good.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's real nice. So, what do you when you first started when you first started working out, then and I know you said you weren't really isolating anything. Are
Yeah.
you finding that the days that the days that you are working out and maybe go a little harder the next day, do you feel that it's difficult to follow that routine because you're not isolating? Because I know that.
Well, I shouldn't say I'm not isolated. Like today was, I did a lot of chest and shoulders.
Mhm.
So it's not like super isolating. Like I'm just doing like, 5 shoulder exercises and 5 chest exercises. Like I did legs today as well. Like it's almost like a full body. But the thing that I do, I'm sort of looking at the comments. I see Tomas or somebody said something about treadmill and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I do when I get in, I do the bike for about 10 or 15 minutes just to sort of warm myself up because it's so damn early. And I
Yeah.
like literally roll out of bed and go, get there. So
Yeah.
I usually do that, sort of get myself together, get my workout ready on my phone, and get my music ready and all that stuff while I'm on the treadmill. And then maybe I'll watch a video or something. But then the way that I work out, like I get a lot of weird looks because I don't rest hardly at all. Like I try to do it like really intense. So
Mhm.
like I sweat like a pig. I always wear a hoodie um to try to sweat as much as possible. And
Yeah.
then the app gives you rest time in between, anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half. And
Yeah.
I usually cut that down to usually 15 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
So I'll stop, I'll look at it, and then either I'll hit it right away or I'll just go right back into my thing and then skip it after the fact. But yeah, so my heart rate is pretty high when I'm just doing even when I'm doing my strength training. So that way I'm trying to, keep everything going high intensity. But
Right. Do you what is your heart rate usually follow at? Where are you like you talking like 150, 160? Are you up to
Yeah, I think
time?
I'm usually around 150, but I'll take a gander real quick at today. Uh, I don't even know where the hell to look for it. Oh, where it is. Yeah. Well, my average when I'm doing strength is 120.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And I know
So
you and I talked about are you upwards to 4 or 500 calories a workout?
yeah, right around 400. It's about 400 there, and then I usually get about 100 on the bike. So I'm doing 500 for my workout.
Nice. Okay.
So
I know when I started doing something years ago. Um, damn, Tomas could run a 5K in 19 minutes. Once upon a time.
oh,
Um, I did this workout years ago. It was like circuit training,
hmm
and it was I forget the name. God, I can't remember what it was called. But it was you would literally I got like half boxing gloves. You know, you show your fingers, but it's got padding on the knuckles. And you would literally go around, you would do a punching bag, and then you would do a machine, and then maybe like another machine, then a punching bag, and then two machines, a punching bag, two machines, all the way around. And it would take
yeah,
45 minutes to do that, which was awesome. And I started doing that, and the guy that ran the place, you know, he would talk to him like after like 3 or 4 weeks, he'd be like, "All right." He's like, "You know, following, you're doing real good, you know," and like he'll watch your form as you're doing it to make sure that you're doing it right. Help you punch in
yeah,
and you get a better punch on the bag and any of the machines that you're working on. And he's like, "Okay, so now instead of doing this many at this, I want you to do this many." And then he's like, "Okay, now it's taking you less time to work around that." And I would go at 4 or 5 in the morning too before work. And when I got done, he was like, "All right." He's like, "Now that you're done doing that, do this free weight or these weights." And I thought that was really cool. I really liked doing that and going around to machine the machine.
yeah,
And it was literally 30 seconds or whatever, 40 seconds per machine doing your reps. And some of them was as many as you can. And then, like, in the middle of it, he'd be like, "All right, wall sit for a minute
yeah,
or
oof,
a minute and a half with the medicine ball." Like, that's what
yeah,
it got to the point, like, where I could sit there just with the medicine ball, and I'd be like, "No, no, no, just for a minute." Like,
yeah.
right now, when I try to do a wall sit, I'm like, 50
Well,
seconds."
yeah, like I usually do at least one superset every today was no, I can't remember what today's was. Maybe it was I did chest flies on the machine and then tricep pull downs on the cable with the rope. So like I'm do that and then just run over and do that and then come back. Like I like that kind of. I don't
Yeah.
like the resting in between. One, I think I'm wasting my time. Like I'm like I don't want to. I don't want to sit at the gym and just sit here and wait for a minute and a half. And I'm not doing. Maybe once the weight gets a little bit higher, but I'm trying not to. I don't want the weight to be so high that I have to rest.
Right.
Like I'm looking to just keep moving. I'm looking for a cardio as well as strength. So that's my thing. Like I'm not high weight. I'm not going super high weight. I think my legs and my calves is the highest weight that I do. Everything else is pretty. It's enough to where on my third set, when I get to around 8, 9, 10, I'm pretty much giving out. So I'm good with that. But yeah, I like that. I did that circuit training a few years ago. I did some stuff with church, so they had like a Biggest Loser thing, and we were working out a couple times a week, and we did that once a week, and I like that. I like that a lot. I like moving and constantly going
Yeah.
more than you know. That's why I don't like a lot of people at the gym either, because I don't want. I used to go to the gym a few years ago, and it was like I would go in the afternoon, in the evening,
Mhm.
and one, it sucked because then I have to tell Shannon, like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym, and it's like right after dinner, right before, it just wasn't convenient.
Right.
And then like it's just packed when you're there. And I'm
Yep.
like, I just want to get to what I want to get to and go. Like I don't feel like waiting for somebody and then you see how gross people are, and you're like, oh, I gotta get on that machine and do so gross. But
No, I hear you. I used to do Carrie and I after the when I would do that circuit training, like maybe like a year or two later, we started going to Planet Fitness together. And we did that at 5 in the morning. That was before Beth was born. We
Yeah,
did that at 5 in the morning. We get up and go. And like you said, it was nicer in the morning because no one was there.
yeah,
But sometime, like you said, depending on the year, depending on the new year, like it was packed,
yeah,
And then sometimes I didn't make it in the morning and I would go at night and it just sucked. You're like
yeah.
sitting there waiting for a machine to open up or doing some sort of cardio and I didn't like that. I was like, "Oh, this is a pain in the ass." And then
Well, and now you're doing something completely different, at
yeah,
least different to me.
yeah. Michael Manna, everybody in the wrestling and stuff knows him as Stevie Richards. He's a really big in the fitness, and he's always been big in the fitness. He was always very um the healthy lifestyle and the clean lifestyle, very very, adamant about working out, and doing the right things and eating the right things. And he last year he did this program and he did it all with resistance bands. And he started up the program and he has a chat group in Facebook, which is, a locked chat group. You go in, you talk to each other, and every day everyone's in there commenting about what they're doing, how they're doing, and what their progress is. And Michael's right there talking to everybody. If I have any questions, I text him. But the program is strictly isolated. Each day, it's a 5-day program, and each day you do first day is chest, then back, and then legs, and then shoulders, and then on each day, also, if you wanted to, you can do abs, which is 3 exercises that you do for abs. Just leg raises and Russian twists is the three that you do, and I basically try to do 15 to 20, 3 sets of each when I'm doing those. Not very good at it, but I'm getting better as the weeks
Yeah,
progress. I decided to do them every day now. I was doing them every other day, so I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and doing that schedule. And I decided to just do it every day because I got to the point where, like, when I was working out, I'd be like, man, you know, I was like, I'm feeling good. I said, I just want to keep going. And then I'd see my calories burning to a certain point. I'm like, well, I know if I do these abs, that'll definitely put me over the 400 calorie mark. And that'll help me really start burning some of this stuff off. But I love the program because you can use the bands and I can increase the weight. And like you said, the heaviest weight I have is a 70-pound band. I use that for my legs when I'm doing leg work and exercise for my legs because my legs are the strongest thing. And any other weight that I would use doing leg stuff, I'd be like, oh, ho hum, you know. And when I'm doing things like shrugs for my shoulders
yeah,
and everything like that, also I need to do heavier weights. Where I can't do the heavier weights or resistance are the it's an exercise you sit your arms at your side and you pull up and you got the bands under both legs, both feet, and I pull up and you hold it out straight and you go in front of you and then you go down and then you go up and you go out again and you go down. That's one.
yeah,
And I started trying to do that with the 30 pounds and I was like, I got to 5 and I was like up to here. I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything good. I was like, this is pointless.
yeah,
So I dropped it down to 20 pounds and I started doing that and I did that for a week and I started getting better. So now I'm feeling like I'm actually getting up straight. I can hold it for a second, bring it in front of me, drop it down, bring it up, and do the whole nine. But I feel the same way that you do, as far as, feeling like I want to do more than
yeah,
just those exercises. And Michael's really cool about the whole program because he's like, this is a good starting point. He's like, if you move on to something else, that's what I want. He's like, you don't have to do this for, the whole time or not.
yeah.
And what I want to do next is something that I did years ago, and that was P90X again.
Oof.
And I'm debating on doing that at night and doing the band workout in the morning. So do
Yeah.
the resistance in the morning and then start doing the P90X stuff at night. Because when I started doing the P90X, I couldn't do shit. I
Yeah.
couldn't do a sit up, I couldn't do a crunch, I couldn't do a push up. But when I got done that P90X, I was, and again, I lost a ton of weight doing it. I sweated like a pig
Yeah.
after each of those workouts. And like Tomas said in the room, I don't feel like I sweat enough doing the bands. And I
Yeah.
started taking less time in between each two.
Yeah.
Um, as Michael's program increases at 4 weeks, like you said, taking a minute to a minute and a half rest time between each. And I'm
Yeah.
finding now that I'd rather take like a 30 to 40-second break in between each and then
Yeah.
just get on to the next one. And when I'm doing my legs, I usually don't take any time at all. I usually
Yeah.
just take a minute or take like, 10 seconds, take a drink, put it back down, and get back up doing like the calf raises is one of the exercises that you do. But I'm finding the same thing that I'm getting to the exercises that I want to do, and I'm doing a little bit more reps, and I'm taking less time. So I'm starting week 4 next week. So that's going to be the last week of the reps that he has set for that, and you increase the reps and you take less time. And then when you get to the week 8 is when you're taking like a 15-second break, but you're doing like 20 of each rep in
Yeah.
3 sets. So it's really like pushing yourself to just to like what you're doing now, and
Well, with what I'm doing at the gym is like I just wanted to get through my workout, whatever, and then just okay, if I'm doing on the fly machine, I'm just bam, 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 knocking them out. And
mhm,
what I've ended up finding after watching a bunch of the buff dude videos, because and I'll get to why I was watching videos looking at I kept calling it in my new vlog channel intermediate fasting, but it's
intermittent.
intermittent fasting or whatever. Um, but that's what I was researching, and then I came across them because there was something else, and then I got like in a vortex of watching their videos, and I really liked their videos. It was nothing I was interested in before, but once you're into something, then you're obviously more interested in different things. But
Oh yeah.
what I really caught from them is the really concentrating on your form and making sure that you're lifting with that muscle. You know
Right.
what I mean? Where I found myself like I'd be on the ab machine and I would do, 25, 3 sets of 25, like boom, boom, boom. But then my thighs, I'd feel it in my thighs
Yep.
more than my core. So, yeah, anyways, it just opened my eyes to really just when I'm working out a specific muscle, if I'm doing bench presses, that I need to really be concentrating on my chest,
Yeah.
flexing my chest, and because when I usually use dumbbells when I'm doing any of my presses, and just really concentrate on those muscles and feel that you're really working them,
Yep.
and that's actually brought my weights down
Hmm.
to where it was last week since I started watching their videos and sort of got that into my head that when I started my workouts this week, I'm like, I'd use the weight that I know I could lift, but I'm like really concentrating on only using specific muscles.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where I'm like, I need to go down like 5 or 10 pounds because it's like either I can power through and not really isolate the what I need to, or I
Right.
can go down a little bit more and really get my form right. And my workouts this week have felt more intense and I feel them more than the past, few weeks because I think I've really got it down now. So I'm more excited about working out. It's sort of given me a new, okay, well now I'm feeling this, so it's even different and gives
Mhm.
you a little bit, more juice about it and everything. And then, like I said, they got some book, they had a couple books. I can't even remember which one I ordered. They're the same thing. It's like a 12-week plan
Mhm.
and it's got spots in there where it's got the workouts listed and you can write in how many you did and how much weight and all that kind of stuff and but really and there's some meal stuff in there and they got some good stuff
That's
on their
cool.
videos, some cool meal plans or different meals and different stuff that they do. But yeah, it's been but the circle back with one of the things you're saying about like the ab workouts or whatever, like my workout today, I wasn't dreading anything until I saw the planking and I'm like, oh, are you kidding? Like and it's 45 seconds 2 times, and I'm just like, and I've done those before, and this is the first week that I could actually hold it for the whole time, because I'll put my phone right down in front of me and it's counting down. I try not to stare at it, but I'm looking out, whatever. I was actually able to do it, and it like that's like I can do the ab machine all day long, but
Yeah,
like something like that, or like you said, the Russian twist, or the even like on the
also,
bench and leg lifts and stuff like that, like just
yeah.
kill me.
Well, that's the like you said about, making sure that the exercise that you're working on, the part that you're working on, you want to make sure that's what you're isolating. You're squeezing your chest instead of your arms to do that exercise. And Michael, what is he? Um, Isometrics.
Mm,
I think that's what it's called. It's when you're like basically when you're squeezing the muscle of the body part that you want to work on.
yeah,
And, the whole thing about that, it's like, yeah, you're doing the weights, but you're giving yourself even more of
yeah,
a push because you're squeezing at the start. And one of the things like that I always had a problem with was breathing, to breathe in the
mhm,
correct way and squeezing before you actually get to the point where it's hard.
yeah,
Like when you're doing those presses, you start squeezing here as opposed to start squeezing here. So like if you're doing a chest workout, you start squeezing here and you feel it tighten up here. By the time you get to here, like you said, you're
yeah.
doing a slower push to the point like where you're like, oh crap, I'm at 5 and I can barely, get to where I need to get to. And that's when you start having the better workouts. And
Right.
and breathing the way that you're supposed to breathe and doing that. That's the stuff that I'm learning with Michael's workout.
And
And
that's what, like I said, I was working out and like I said, Mike and I are both older dudes. I just turned 42. Mike's 59, and it's like it's very
44.
difficult. But it's I'm joking, but it's like it's difficult at a certain point because you're sort of just like, all right, I am what I am. I'm not gonna do, just whatever. But it's like it's amazing. Somebody said in the room about how like you feel better more than just physical, and I agree. Like mentally, I feel a lot better. Like with working out, um, like I said, I'm getting up super early, but it doesn't seem to affect me. Like I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so it's not. Some days I'm a little tireder at night than others, and whatever. But then, like I said, this week I started that intermittent fasting, and the way that I'm doing it, which I sort of just jumped into it because I had
I wanted to
skipped
ask you about
breakfast
that.
and skipped lunch, and I was like, well, today would be a good day to start. I've already missed my 2 meals, and what that basically is, if you don't know, is I have my calorie goal, which I've been watching my calories the whole time I've been working out, but this takes your calorie goal and puts it into a small window over 24 hours.
Right.
Mine is from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. is the only time I eat. Anything beyond that is just strictly water. You can drink black coffee and plain like unsweetened tea, just like regular
Mhm.
hot tea or cold tea or whatever. I'm just doing water. I don't really like the other things. But 2 to 6, and that's,
8?
I mean, that's my only window. So it's there's a few days where it's getting a little bit rougher and whatever, but it's been really good so far. I've actually I'm down just this week, and I'm gonna quit weighing myself so much. But this week I'm like, is this real or whatever? But I'm down like 4.5 pounds just from Monday.
Nice.
And my workout's the same and things like that. So it's probably that, or I just am losing weight from working out because I was sort of plateauing. Um, but it's not as difficult as I thought it would be. And some people do like larger windows, like you can do. Mine is an 6 hour window, um, but you can do like an 8 or 10 hour window. And there's ways you're supposed to ramp yourself into it, but I just sort of dove straight in and seems to be okay. I'm gonna try it for like 2 weeks and then see how it is, and then adjust accordingly. The other thing I would say too that I found out again from watching the Buff Dudes video is look up on Google TDEE calculator. And
T
what you do is you put in all your specs. You put your height, your weight, your age, your body fat if you know it as well, and it'll tell you what your calorie goal should be, like to maintain and then to lose weight and whatever. And basically, what I've read and seen, and and I'm sure there's different things that say different things, but they say you really shouldn't go under 500 calories of what your TDEE says.
Okay.
So I've actually revamped that because I saw somebody in the room saying, "Yeah, I'm at 1,500 calories," and that's probably good for like my wife who's little. But like when you actually use that calculator and you put in your actual height, your actual weight, and your age, like it's a lot more than what you think it should be. Like mine went up. I was doing 1,800, and I think it went up to 3,600 calories.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and I brought it back down. Like I went down almost 1,000, so I'm like 2,700. But then I burn about 1,000 calories per day, and then I don't go anywhere near 2,700 calories. I still am like around 2,000 calories. But it's like that's to make sure your energy's up, and like and then I break that down into macros, and then so like I think I do what is it, 40% of my calories is going to be carbs because I love carbs, so I went higher with the carbs. 35 or 30 is protein and 30 is fat.
Now,
I believe that's
what are
right.
you eating, and how many times a day during that
I'll
period?
eat like I'm starving at 2 o'clock, so I'll have a meal. They haven't been the greatest meals this week, but I'm gonna go shopping this weekend and actually start so I can like shrimp. I like shrimp and it has nothing in it, so I could cook up some shrimp on the stove or something like that.
Barbie.
But you eat like a full meal, like whatever. My thing is, I'm just like I don't want to change. I don't want to go intermittent fasting and no carb. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do anything
Right.
extreme. So my thought is like, okay, I know how many calories I can have per day. I'm doing an intermittent fasting because another reason for the intermittent fasting is one, you pack your calories into a certain window, so you're not like me. I could eat breakfast in the morning and then be hungry at 10, and
Mhm.
then want to get like a snack, and then eat lunch at 11:30 or noon, and then like midday or mid afternoon be hungry again, and then get a snack, and then eat dinner, and then before bed eat a bowl of cereal or some chips or some crap like that. When you have it packed, what I'm finding, so when you have it packed in that window from 2 to 6, I have a meal at 2 or 3, whenever I'm able to get a meal in.
Mhm.
Like the other day, I just brought like a chicken breast and a protein shake, and I had that at 2 o'clock at work. Um, and then I'm usually good. I'll have like a little snack, and then I'll eat again at 7, like right before it's time to be done, and that's it. So it's like I'm having 2 meals and a snack, whereas before I would have 3 meals and probably 3 snacks or four
Right.
snacks. You know what I mean? So on top of that, it cuts everything down, and then it's supposed to like get your body into a fasting state. So when there's and like I said, you can read 1,000 different things, but what I've read is your body after you eat it'll be breaking down the food that you consume for about 5 hours.
Okay.
So if it's breaking down the food that's in there and then you eat again, it's breaking that down that again, and then so it never actually works on breaking down the fat that's already on your body. It's
Mhm.
working on the food that you're ingesting. So the fasting is supposed to, after that 5 hours, like I'm not eating for 18 hours. So it should be working on my fat for, after that first five. So
Mhm.
13 hours, it's just eating away at my body and my fat. So
Right.
that's why my protein's higher too, because I want to make sure that I'm not losing muscle as well. So
Right.
it's interesting. Like I said, I mean, I'm no expert by any means. I'm trying to find out what works for me
Mhm.
because I can say, Mike, this is what you should be doing, man. I'm losing, but it may not work for you at all. I got a dude that works for me that lost like 100 pounds in a year, and what he did, I don't think is going to work for me because he was
Right.
like, no carbs, no nothing. And I'm like, I love carbs, So you just got to find out what works for you. The biggest thing for me is that you don't, and Tomas said this to me years ago. You don't want to like completely change your whole life because you want something that you can consistently do.
Right.
You don't want to be like, well, I'm never going to eat carbs again. Like I know people like that, and they can do it, and that's great. I can't do that. I
No, I
just
can't
that's
do that
not
either.
it's not in my DNA. You need to find out what works for your body, for your head, for your mind, for what you can actually live with. Because another thing is you can't go on some crazy diet and then when you get off of it, just expect to go back to how you were, and then you're just going to put on all the weight again. It's really trying to find that lifestyle change.
Well, that's what I found the biggest problem with doing the diets and stuff like that. I was doing Advocare for probably the past year and a half, not all the time, but I was doing their protein drinks, and I was doing their vitamins and stuff like that. And I was finding it was giving me some adverse reactions to it. and I would just deal with it. And when you would go through the cleanses, you would do the pills and you would stick to a very high protein diet and lots of fruits, lots of veggies, no carbs. You can have a few carbs here and there, but if you wanted to get the best results, you limited to what you were doing.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like you said, when you're done, now you got to go back to whatever it is, or try to not go back to whatever it is that you're doing, and hopefully give you a better um a better idea of what you could be eating, which is what I ended up doing. So I learned a lot from it, and it gave me a good idea of, look, you can have things that you want, but it's got to be in moderation.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, if you can't go out and have 4 slices of pizza. You can have
Yeah.
one, or like a salad or something like that. So that's what I started doing, and that's what I'm doing now. So like
Yeah.
a lot of the times, I usually don't eat in the morning anyway. I usually get up, I work out, I'll do like an energy, like when I'll do the natural energy drinks, and I'll just drink a lot of water while I'm working out before and after. And then by the time it's lunchtime, it's like around 12 or 1. So I'm essentially kind of doing what you do.
Yeah.
And typically I'll have a salad at lunch with chicken, and I'll do ranch dressing. So that's, a light ranch dressing. So it's not completely taking out
Yeah.
everything that, like, oh, I'll do light Italian instead of ranch. I'm still eating what I like. And for dinner, my wife will, she'll make chicken or steak, or, we'll have a burger. I won't worry about eating that bun on,
Yeah.
having the burger on the bun, but, we'll have like a salad or something alongside of it. So that's what I've been doing, and I think I'm down like maybe like 6 or 7 pounds now.
And
So
that's what with the fasting thing, that's what they said too. Like a lot of people that I've watched or read or whatever, they're like, don't, and they said, don't like go like, oh, it's 2 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock, whatever. Like the other night, like I lost track of time, and then it was like I started baking my chicken, and I'm like, when this is done, it's past 8. I can't eat, and I'm like. I'm like, no, that's not how this is gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta eat. So it's just one of
right.
those. And everything I've seen, they're like, don't like, because again, like what Tomas was just saying in the room about like if you're in a diet and it makes you miserable, it's not working. It's not gonna work. It's the same thing with the fasting thing. They're like, if you're hungry at 1:30, go ahead and eat. If you're
Right.
hungry at 1, go ahead and eat. Like if you think that that's, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to, you know, throw off the whole thing. And the same thing, if you can't eat till 8:30, 8:45, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like they said, don't look so hard at that schedule. Like they were saying the same thing. Like if you have a lunch, you got to go to a lunch thing,
Right.
then just do it. You can, so it's I don't want to say it's like loosey goosey, because you can you can be a little flexible with it. It's not like, oh no, you just ruined everything.
Oh,
Like some
right.
of those things, like you said, if you're on like a no carb and then you have like that burger and bun, you're like, well, screw it. Now I fell off the wagon. Might as well like eat this loaf of bread.
Well, the thing is, we're burning, 4 to 500 calories just working out every morning. So, you could pretty much eat whatever the hell you want during the day, as long,
Yeah,
so it isn't like you have to limit a whole lot of what you're eating,
yeah,
but you obviously want to make good choices. I don't want to go do McDonald's. Like, I haven't done McDonald's, God knows how long.
yeah,
I sit there and go, I could either go to McDonald's, or I can go to like a hoagie place and get like a turkey hoagie, or, or a salad with, like a turkey club or something.
yeah,
But and sit there and think, man, it's a hell of a lot better than going and getting fast food. And, you know, yeah, I really think it's so much better than what I used to do, and it's definitely worth it.
yeah,
And I think it's the way to go. Yeah, and I'll usually go to Subway too. I'll get the Subway salad.
yeah,
And I love their Subway salad. I'll get the grilled chicken, and, when I was doing the not the fasting, the cleanse, I would typically do that. I'd get no cheese on it, and I would get the light vinaigrette. the house vinaigrette to try to keep it as light as possible. But you know, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of ranch on it now instead of hell. It's could be worse. I could be going to McDonald's.
Yeah, see, if I go to Subway, what I usually get is the Italian BMT, and all I get on it is the meat, the cheese, spinach, cucumbers, and that's it. No dressing, no nothing. Because a cucumber gives me enough moisture to where it's like it's good enough for me.
I
But
usually I don't get any dressings on my sandwiches either.
yeah,
I've gotten into eating onions and pickles and green peppers. Never used to eat green peppers, onions,
yeah, I
tomatoes
don't like
now.
any of that
Like
shit.
I never used to eat that stuff. And I'm like, if it's not too much, like I'll get tomatoes in my salad, but I gotta make
Yeah,
sure they're chopped up. I gotta
yeah,
make sure they're cut up fine enough to where it's not annoying to me. But I didn't used to eat that stuff and it fills you up more.
yeah,
And it's a lot better for me, for what I do, and it fills me up more. Because like you said, there's nothing worse than getting to a certain point and you're still hungry,
yeah,
or something gets on. Like my problem is when I get pissed off or I get upset, and I sent you a message last night, I wanted to like find something to eat and
yeah,
eat, you know, and I'm looking around the house and I don't have anything in the house anymore.
yeah.
That's got her stuff, and I don't like that crap. She's Go-Gurts and all that. I'm not eating that shit. And she won, or actually, I think I won it and gave it to her, a big Hershey's chocolate bar. And she had eaten most of it, and there was like 3 or 4 pieces left. And I was like, I'm going to bed. I was like, that's it. I'm going to bed. I'm too pissed off. So, you know, but I held out and just drank water. But like you said, if you're doing a diet and you're miserable, or as Tomas said, it's not working, and I'm not. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with it. So, but anything else you want to add?
Um, no, I mean, yeah, like I said, we're older in whatever, and one other thing that I got to do, I'm waiting another week or so, but like I was on, when did I start? When did we go? NAB is when I first, I think that's when I started my testosterone replacement stuff.
Yeah.
Because if people don't know, I had cancer and I only have one nut now, and so
No.
my testosterone's always low. But I went, and when I was doing that though, they would test me and super low, but I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing anything. So like I'm gonna wait a couple weeks. I'm gonna keep doing my fasting, see how that goes, and then that's on my agenda too. I got to get back into the doctor, and then now that I've been at that point, I've been working out for about 3 months. So I
Nice.
should have my, whatever my levels my body can produce should be at that point, and then anything beyond that, I may have to get, do something for that. So that'll help me out another level of it.
Right.
But yeah, it's really just sort of, you should really, if you are older, as Mike and I are, you should, yeah, I think you're supposed to consult your doctor before you go crazy and do stuff.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm young, so I
So
I,
do I.
I can't imagine going to a doctor and be like, I'm going to start working out every day. Is that okay? I would feel like an asshole. So,
Well, it's
but yeah, like I said, you just gotta, when it comes to working out and diet and everything, you just have to find what works for your body, for your lifestyle, for you.
right.
Or like we've been saying, it's just gonna fail. So you want to really take your time and sort of work into things.
I got a hard time listening to my doctor because he's a fat ass. He's like this big fat guy. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and he's like, that's good. I'm like, "Yeah, okay. And I even talked to my doctor before like this is years ago before I started doing P90X. And that guy's like, doctor was like, if you can do that, go for it. So I've never, luckily, knock on wood, I've never had like a high blood pressure. Like every time I go to the doctor and like I would get my blood test back, whether I was overweight or not, they'd get it back and they'd be like, you weigh this much and your blood pressure is down. And he's like, you're good. He's like, you can eat as much as you want.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't say that. They're like, and you still need to lose a little bit of weight.
yeah.
But I never really have a high blood pressure. I've always had super low blood pressure.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had low blood. I used to pass out a lot when I was young because
oh,
I had low blood pressure. Like if I would get up too fast, they said they
mhm.
called it. You never had to worry about this, but they called it tall man's disease, and So like I would get up so fast that the blood wouldn't like it wouldn't make it, and I fell out of my glass shower door before. Yeah, but anyways, that was the one other thing that I'll say that I do use is and sometimes I fall off of it, but I'll probably use it for a few more weeks till But anyways, I use MyFitnessPal,
Yeah, I
and I
gotta
use
start
that
using
to
that.
yeah, I use it just to log my calorie intake and my macros. That's how I know what I'm eating and what, like Tomas said, how much sugar. Like I can look and go back to any day that I logged and figure out how much sugar.
Get testicle implants.
What the hell is testicle implants going to do for me? That's just for cosmetics. I'm good being uniball.
Wear
Gonna
wear
do
short
cosmetics.
shorts, you big old nuts hanging out at the bottom. Hey, I'm working out.
I
Oh,
wear short shorts now, but all I have to worry about is just one popping out the side. I don't have to worry about two.
I can't do my crunches. Why? I'm supposed to keep my knees together, but my nuts just keep tightening up. I can't. Got to pick
I'm
them
gonna
up.
get like a mini beanbag.
Put them on top of your legs. All right, enough of that.
But you
So,
should definitely get something to track because, like Tomas said, you would be surprised. You would be surprised what you actually eat in a day if you don't really track it.
yeah,
It was shocking to me when I first started using it about a year ago, like what I was really putting in on a normal day. Like I would put in probably anywhere from 4 to 5,000 calories a day. Because, like you said, it would be like I'd go to McDonald's in the morning and then have fast food at lunch and then have some, like it was, and those two would like blow out my day. And then once if you use MyFitnessPal for like a month, you really have a good idea of what you should and shouldn't be eating and that. But because like I know people that use it, they've been using it for years, and I'm like, there's got to be a certain point where you just know what you should be eating. But they're like really into like their macros and how much sugar intake and how much this and how much that, which is great. But I'd like to get to a point where it's just I know what I can eat in my what my body can take and what my body can't
mm-hmm.
and go with that. But it's a very powerful app. Like it's amazing the stuff that's in there from logging and the catalog, and it's got a scanner so you can scan just a barcode and it
Yep,
puts all the nutritional facts in there, and I don't know, I like it a lot. But sometimes it's just a pain in the butt.
yeah. I hear you. I used it. I don't even know if I still have it on here. Do I? No, I actually deleted it, and I got to put it back on. I got to start using that again because, like you said, it is very helpful, extremely
Yeah.
helpful. So do you have a get off my lawn segment for tonight? I
I
have one.
do. Do you want to go first?
No, you go ahead. You go first. I went first the last couple weeks.
Um, mine is I had this issue. I'm going to try to keep names out of it. Is nobody anybody would know. It's work related. So I'm trying to do a favor for one of our sales guys. We're moving a line from a GM plant to another customer, a different customer's facility. GM decided to take a couple of I'm trying to think of ways that I can word it for people to know, like the screens where you would control the machines, right? They
Mhm.
took those because they're like, well, you don't need them. And I'm like, no, you need those. Like, we need those. And they're like, well, can you quote new ones? I'm like, okay. So this original job's like 6 years, 5 or 6 years old. So I'm on our server. I'm looking, I'm trying to find everything, and I'm like, you know what? We had to use special software because it's GM specifications, not what we usually do. So I'm like lost looking at this stuff. So I emailed the dude that's literally in charge. This is his job. Like that's what he did at GM. He lived there and did the electrical prints. Works
Gee.
for us. He works for our company up in Michigan. I email him like, hey man, I need two. We call it their HMIs, human interface. I need two HMIs, the ones that go on, blah blah. They're on the server under the job number, and I'm like, look, dude, I've already looked there, and I can't make heads or tails of what this stuff is because it's not our normal stuff. Then radio silence for like a week. And I'm like, dude, I gotta quote this for the customer. I mean, we're talking, it's gonna be 20, 30 grand. I gotta get this to them so they can get me a PO. So I email again today. I'm like, hey, I email our VP of sales and another guy. And I'm like, can you guys, you're up there, please talk to this dude, see if he can help me out, whatever. they email the guy and he's like, I'm in Mexico, and sends, like, I'm scrolling. It took me 2 scrolls with this email that he sent that basically said, Larry's lazy. I told him where it was, like
Jeez.
all this stuff. And I'm like, and I was driving this morning and I'm like, okay. So I ended up pulling over and I sent a note back very nicely. And I'm like, look, I've looked at it. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand what I'm looking at. This is not my job. It's your job that if I need help, I say, hey, dude, this is your department. I need help.
Love that.
So, anyways, and then I responded back, and at the very end, I just said, you know what? His email was, it's rude for one, disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and unnecessary, and I don't know. Somebody needs to have a talk with this guy, and like nobody responded to my email after that. And I'm like,
Oh,
like, I mean, this dude is like an a-hole. We went back and forth, but like literally, if you look at the chain of command at our work, I'm way above this guy, and he has no respect. And he's like this to everybody, so it's not like, but they just let him get away with it up there. And I'm like, if this dude worked for me down here, he would no longer work for me down here. So yeah, I don't like people that don't like doing their job, try to pass the buck, and then try to make you look bad because you asked them to do their job. So I probably went over my time, but yeah,
that's all good. No. I had a couple, and one I'm gonna let go. Just gonna let it go. But there is another one. I went to go see Black Panther the other day. Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And the movie theater that I go to, they have assigned seats. Like you pick your seat, where you want in the theater. The Sheldon Cooper style. I like to sit in the
hey.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, acoustics are perfect. And so I went in and I bought the tickets because there was nobody there. And I had to talk to the guys because I had actually gotten tickets from last weekend, and my buddy and I were gonna go see Death Wish. And he wasn't able to make it. So I talked to the manager. He gave me like, free passes and stuff for to go. So I like the movie's like getting ready to start, and I go in. And there's a lady sitting right next to my seat. And I'm like, I don't remember anyone sitting there, like anywhere in the row. Like, that's why I picked this row, because nobody was here. So I was like, well, this is my seat. So I go in and I sit next to her, and she's like, excuse me. And I was like, yes. She's like, you're in our seats. And I like looked down and I was like, I got my ticket. I'm like, no, this is row F, seat 8. And she's like, well, yeah, but someone else is sitting in our seat, so we're sitting here, so you're gonna have to move. And I went, someone is sitting in your seats, so you're sitting in mine. I guess someone was with her. And I said, now you want me to move? And she just looked at me, and I said, where are the people at that? And then by this time, her husband came back, and he was like, what are you doing in our seats? And I was like, don't even fucking start. So I was like, where are your seats supposed to be? And they were like across the row. So I went, what are your seat numbers? And they're like 9 and 10. So I got up and I said, excuse me. And I said, are you sitting in the right seats? I said, these folks have these seats here. And the woman looked at her. She goes, you know what? I'm so sorry, we're in the wrong row. And I turned around and I went, now was that so hard? I was like, get the fuck out of my seat. I was like, Jesus Christ. Speak up for yourself, for God's sakes. What is wrong with people? Like, oh, I'm not going to say anything because they might. No. I don't care what you're doing. Those are your seats. You pick those seats for a reason. Go to him and go, I'm sorry, but I think there's a mistake. I don't know. I thought these were my seats. Can you look at your ticket? Jesus Christ. I used to go I used to love going to baseball games. The seats that we had were in left field, and they were the third row back from the field. And everyone would always go down before the game started because they were doing batting practice. Mm-hmm. They're always sitting in those seats because they wanted to try to get home run balls. And you would walk down, and yes, I was a bit of a dick. Who's surprised? And I would walk down, and they'd be like sitting there, and I'd be like, excuse me, you're in our seats. And they'd be like, huh? Our seats. go up to the 3rd level where you're supposed to seat and get the fuck out of here. I used to love kicking people out of our seats, but since then there's a much nicer way to do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my seats were for here, and maybe am I wrong? Do you have the right seats and I'm wrong? Maybe you can help me figure out where I'm supposed to sit. I was like, oh my God. But no, T, I was not mean at the movie theater. I just said, excuse me. I said, no, this is where I'm supposed to sit. And when she was like, oh, well, somebody else sat in our seats. And I'm like, and?
Oh, how does that affect me?
I'm like, and now you're sitting in my seat, so get the fuck out. I was like, where? And I was like, where are you? I told you, right? I was like, where are your seats? So I did it calmly, because I was just like, what? What do you mean someone's sitting in your seat? Tell them to move. It's like, good God. Anyway, yeah, I got my Jerry Seinfeld on. If those are the seats that you're picking, those are your seats. So anyway, that's my get off my lawn. That was way too long. But stick up for yourself. If something's not right or something's not correct, don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm sorry, but maybe I'm mistaken, but this doesn't seem right. And then you explain to me why I'm wrong. Explain to me why I'm wrong. And I'll be more than happy to go sit where I'm supposed to sit. But I looked at my ticket specifically, and I know this is my seat. So get the fuck out of my seat. So, anyway, that's that. That's really get off my lawn. That was like angry old Jerry Seinfeld get off my lawn. But yeah, no conflict resolution. People do not do. I mean, God, they would just run away if they if they don't have to talk to somebody. And it just, I don't know. If I didn't talk to the guy today at the electrician that came over, I wouldn't have something to do next week. You know what I mean? Like, mouth, say things. Good God. Anyway, all right. I like this. I thought this was really cool talking about the workouts and stuff like that. And I want to follow up on it again because I think once we start changing our regiments, I hope people would want to hear what we're doing and how we're doing it. Maybe come up with some results and see where we're going with it if anything changes. And you know what? Maybe I'll ask Mike to come on and he could tell us a little bit about the program and what he's done.
That'd be good.
And maybe give us some pointers on what we're doing and what we're working out wrong with or whatnot. But I'll hit him up and see maybe if he wants to come on in a week or two or whatnot. But that would be I think that would be a lot of fun. I think people would be interested in that. So, but Larry, I like to do this at the beginning because make sure everyone's listening. But where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me at Geeky Nerd Dad. And then if you are interested in any vlogging, I've started a new channel where I've posted one new vlog and a couple highlights from the old ones. And that one is just Larry, period.
There it is.
So I don't know if you can actually search that and find that out, but if you look on Twitter, I've shared it there, or I've shared it a few places. So
well, I'll put that in the links as well.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It'll be down below. Yeah, because once you start a new channel, it's a pain in the ass because you can't put anything like you don't have
get the vanity
custom URL yet. I think you gotta. I don't even know what you have to do to get that these days.
I think it's 10,000 subs.
Is it 10,000? No.
Something. I remember I looked the other day. It was something.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is. Okay.
Maybe it's 10,000 views. I don't know. It's something.
So, Tomas, my get off my lawn is how come I have to keep refreshing my order status? Poor Tomas. Stop ordering shit. Oh, wait. He ordered his iMac Pro. So he's like, hurry up and get here.
Oh, yeah. He probably didn't want to pay for good shipping, so it's going to be shipped in like 6 months.
I'm jealous. I talked to my wife, and she just looked at me and was like, you ain't getting shit. God damn it. Before I can get it. You know what I need to do? You know what? Let's just end this and we'll keep talking for a minute. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We might be on earlier next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll shoot everybody a tweet or whatnot. But
Larry doubts it. But okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Earlier in the week, not earlier in the day, but
no, earlier in the week. Maybe like on Monday or Wednesday next week. We'll see. Maybe the week after if we can't do it soon enough. So, Thank you all for joining us. All the links in the description for all of our stuff. Again, thanks for joining us, Larry. Good luck with the workout stuff. We'll, follow up on it again.
Same to you. Don't slap yourself in the face with a band.
I will not. Strong bands.
Without recording it.
Exactly. Got to record that shit. So, all right, folks. Have a good night. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.
All right. So, anywho, I forget what I was going to start talking about when I stopped when I stopped recording.
Your iMac Pro.
Oh yeah. Was it the iMac Pro? Oh, I need to do a fresh install.
Yeah.
I need to clean all this shit off and start over because I have way too many hang-ups on Final Cut Pro for it to be.
I keep seeing everybody having issues and this and that. I have not had any.
It doesn't crash. I just get the pinwheel of death for maybe like 6 or 7 seconds at a clip. What I've been doing lately is I've been rendering all, because it's not rendering fast enough.
Yeah.
When I start editing, like if I change something, like, I did this, like I showed you that thing with the slow motion stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
Like I only have, what do I have on that video? I'm up to, I think it's like 4 minutes of the unboxing before I get done to go into the, I didn't shoot the rest of it yet. It's only a 2-minute unboxing, 2-minute and 30-second unboxing. And that's all I had up there. I deleted everything and I started editing and it wasn't rendering that stuff fast enough. So I had to hit render all because it was stuttering. So good night, T, or good night, Dave. So, I'm like, maybe I should just do a fresh install. And I mean, just shit.
I don't know. I tell you what, this Dell that I bought is badass.
Really?
It's badass.
And you was,
I mean, we haven't done anything but like gaming and stuff, but I really, really like it. It made me even think about trying Premiere again, but I don't think I'm that crazy. But it's not. I mean, for the money and what it is, I think it's a damn good value.
How much was that?
I think when all's said and done, it was about $950.
Damn, that's not bad. And
I paid like an extra $20 for. They give you Webroot for free for 6 months, and like $20 you get it for a year. So I paid that 20 and then tax. I think the machine itself was $850 or $830, something in that range. Mm-hmm. But I went there, like I messaged you, I went there looking for the one below that was, I went there looking for something super cheap. And then I'm like, well, the one that I had my eye on was the one below this. It was $729 and it had the GTX 1080. This one has the 1080 Ti. And then it had the GTX 1080 and then a 1 terabyte hard drive. Oof. This has the GTX 1080 Ti and a 256 SSD.
Wow.
I think everything else is pretty much the same, but I mean, you're talking, essentially $100 to bump it up like that. And I'm like, I got the money, so I might as well just,
T sold that Mac Pro for $2,600. That's not bad at all. What do you mean? Are you not going to keep them on? Oh no, duh. If you're getting an iMac Pro, dummy. That's awesome. That'll be real good. So, I don't think Quinn got $2,600 for his Mac Pro, but then again, there's videos of him like destroying that poor thing.
Yeah. You can't have evidence of all the crap you've done to something and try to sell it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that iMac Pro is such a steal for $4,000 for that. But I don't know. I want to pull the trigger so bad on one. I don't know. I'm afraid if I get that and I start using it, the second that I see one stutter, I'm gonna be like, oh, this thing's garbage. Like I'm like, I could have that with my other iMac,
I need to have the 18 core.
Yeah, exactly. For what reason, I don't know why anyone would need the 18 core. I don't know, but craziness. I think I've seen a few people on YouTube that got the 18 core and they tried to They try to give you reasons why they need it. I'm like,
Yeah.
unless you're making a movie that's like 2 hours long, I don't think you need an
Yeah.
18 core. I mean,
Well, I don't know.
seriously. I mean, I don't understand the purpose of an 18 core computer. I what would you need that for? Like, wouldn't you wanna really get to do a computer that has, like, better graphics, like, something that's, like, insane graphics, the dual graphics card, like, how about a quadruple graphics, card? Like
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, I just think if I just well, no, T, I have micro centers nearby. I can definitely find one for that. But I mean, the idea that you sit there and look at the single core scores, which I think like that would be a majority of what my computer would like my processing would use anyway. So if I'm doing editing and heavy editing, I'm really relying on the graphics card at that point, right? I mean, you're obviously a little bit on the processor, but you're really relying heavily on the graphics card at that point. And when you're doing other things, your system's not running on dual core on the second core. It's running on that single thread, right? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'd be afraid. I don't know. Maybe I'll let T work it out and see what he does. I don't know if anyone else really uses they really uses their computers, but I don't know. I don't really hear anyone complaining too much about it that's using them. But oh, $3,000 in taxes. They had the ours is 2,300 this year.
I
Uh,
still haven't done mine yet.
in ours was that put it 2,300 total for federal and state. So, and my wife was like, "You donated $100 to the pet shelter last year. Put that into taxes." I'm like, "It'll go down like $3."
Yeah,
I was like, I think Trump took that out or something. I don't know. It's like,
I keep waiting to see this money from this tax break.
yeah, I ain't seeing nothing. It hurt. Actually, it was a lot more that we owed, and then I started doing my what I paid in property tax and and the mortgage.
Hmm.
I dropped it down. It cut it in like more than half. I was like,
Damn.
whew. I was like, this working as a 1099 or lack of 1099 because whoever did my tax setup on PayPal, I'm not gonna mention any names, didn't set it up right, and there's no 1099. So,
Uh,
but
nice.
Uncle Sam don't want to hear that. You still got to report it.
Yeah.
So I'm not fucking around. So and I don't care about the benchmarks either, Tomas. But I want to make sure that in a real world situation that getting an 8 core or a 10 core, like really, what is the difference of going out there and getting an 18 core computer if most of the stuff that I do is running on is running isn't using all those cores to begin with. It's using that single thread and that's what's slowing it down, and it doesn't even pull in the extra power because the system's not optimized to do that way. I mean, I know Apple does a really good job with optimizing everything and they really spread things around to get the best quality out of it, but I just like you said, eight cores is probably, yeah, it probably is more than enough. But I would rather invest the money in you know the better graphics cards for the systems, and so you have to spend more money. I think I might wait. I don't know if Apple. I don't know. I don't think Apple's going to update the iMac Pro every year. If they did, that would really piss some people off. But it sounds like to me like I don't think they would update that every year. You're not paying Uncle Sam again. Oh, you have to spend the money so you don't have to so you can write it off. That's something that I never really got into. I need to start doing that. I don't know enough about writing off stuff. It makes me nervous when I hear that. I always feel like it's a scam when you're trying to write things off to not pay taxes on. I don't feel comfortable with it. I need to get somebody to help me with it. A tax professional. So I don't know.
All right, let's wrap this crap up. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's what I was just gonna say. So all right. Well, guys, thank you so much. Tomas, thanks for being active in the room. Appreciate it. It's always good having people talking and giving their 2 cents about stuff. But I was super excited about the topic tonight. It turned out really good, but we'll talk more about it. And thank you so much. T, can't wait till you get your computer. That's going to be freaking awesome. Going to be way, way jealous. If you have more vids, I'd say get it, but you don't. Oh, I'm trying. I got some stuff back there going on. So, all righty, folks, we out. You guys take it easy. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you all later.